Just again quickly, after watching that tape, a lot of good and a lot to clean up, kind of a tale of two halves. I thought defensively, looking at the first half, holding them to 7 points and really had an opportunity to even keep those 7 off the board in the first half and then flip the script. Had a tough time getting off the field on third down, thanks to clean up there, whether it's our eyes in coverage, a couple miscommunications, things like that. But I did think they fought hard. These games are long football games, and found a way to get enough stops in the second half. Some of that was the quality of play offensively. Really efficient, effective, answering some scores. You look at the second half, there's times this game gets it within 2 possessions and answered their scores. Our offense did a great job really throughout the whole night. Again, I thought Chance played great. B.J. Baylor had a phenomenal game carrying the ball. Anthony Gould showed up, but we had multiple receivers show up, and that was awesome to see. I think on teams, there's some things we can tighten up on our coverage units. Gave up 1 kickoff return that was too long. Besides that, Everett kicked it really well out of the end zone. And so obviously pleased anytime you win, and just like anytime you're going to turn on the tape the next day, there's stuff to tighten up. But I think we had multiple guys playing with great effort. Awesome, again, like I mentioned after the game, having fans back, family, friends, watching the game, student section, awesome. Really look forward to get back to Reeser again this Saturday with the crowd going, and I know our guys are excited about playing at home again. Playing University of Idaho, which I got a decent amount of experience at that place. Started my coaching career, University of Idaho, after leaving Oregon State as a graduate assistant, spending 6 years with the Vandals. Moscow, great town. Got a bunch of respect for that university, this program, and looking forward to playing them on Saturday.
Coach, is this on? There we go. You mentioned seeing different things after looking at film. What about Chance Nolan after looking at film? And then how much would you say that he improved then from his time in week number 1 in how he performed on Saturday?
Yep, I thought he decision-making got through progressions multiple times on Saturday. That showed up on tape. I thought our protection was really solid from that offensive line. Really, the 1 sack we take was a coverage thing where we're only releasing 3 receivers, and he didn't have much there. Putting his foot in the ground, that showed up in week 1 too, but he carried the ball and picked up some yards when he didn't like what he saw. So overall, there wasn't much there that you can really that was glaringly he needs to improve. He had a couple deep shots that, took a shot down the field, maybe overthrew it a little bit, but overall he played really well.
Now that you've had time to kind of digest the film a little bit, I wanted to ask you about third down defense in particular. Hawaii goes 9 of 16. It's been a struggle at times over the last couple of years, really. What needs to change on third downs? Is it a schematics thing? I mean, what do you do to get better in that category? Yeah,
I know just looking off of this tape, starts with a little bit of our eyes and communication. Give them some credit. They made a couple of plays too. We did change our looks. It wasn't like we were sitting in the same coverage or the same blitz the whole time. Quarterback evaded a couple of times where we got to keep the guy in the pocket and be able to apply some pressure. So there's multiple things where our eyes and coverage, changing up our looks, containing the quarterback, and then give those guys some credit.
Outside of third downs, I mean, it was a really productive night, especially when you look, up and down the individual performances. 7 tackles for loss, 9 quarterback hurries, 14 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. What does that say about just the way that this defense has progressed with regards to the talent and just the ability to make plays individually? Yeah,
I think there was good stuff, like you mentioned there. You look at their run game, which we were concerned about coming into this game. Their traditional runs, we felt like we played really well. Their yardage a lot came from the quarterback on his feet. And so there's things to build off of. Again, I think Riley Sharp had a great game in regards to getting the sack, interception. We had multiple chances for more picks. We need to change the game that way just by catching the ball. So, again, love to be able to look at stuff after wins, but there's plenty to clean up.
Obviously, you never want somebody like Tristan to go down the way he did last year, but how big was that just from a confidence perspective that you could throw Chance in there and he could be comfortable and do really well?
Yeah, I think it's credit to Chance and his work ethic. Off of last year, got some time, started a couple of games, improved in those games from game 1 to game 2, but didn't bat an eye in regards to his prep through the summer, fall camp, knowing there was a competition going on. We talked about it during fall camp, how close it was, and that guy just kept plugging away. And he was totally prepared for this first start.
It seems like, obviously, the last few years you've had, all reliable Jamar back there, but does it seem like BJ is what you've seen this season so far could be that guy now?
Well, he's definitely got the hot hand in this game, and that's why he continued to see more carries. We did, Deshaun got a couple carries, Trey had a couple good carries as well, but you could just feel as BJ was getting into it, he was the hot hand, and we were gonna stick with that. I think the other thing you mentioned, besides all his yards, he had explosive runs, is he did a good job in protection. BJ had a couple of pickups against pressure that allowed Chance to make throws down the field. He had a complete game.
You've had 2 games now to look at your wide receivers. How are you feeling about the depth there now, and do you foresee possibly using 8 or 9 guys on a regular basis?
We feel good about our depth. I think we feel confident that each guy can create plays, and I thought the quarterback's done a good job in just distributing to the guy who's been open, because we got that kind of depth. We're playing 3 on a snap, and then we can have brand new 3 guys the next snap. So Coach Fans has done a good job too in the rotation, working to their skill sets on some specific plays, but we feel like, again, where we're at depth-wise at receiver, we got an opportunity to throw it to the open guy.
And with your tight ends, do you foresee continuing to use those guys primarily as blockers, or is that just the way that those first 2 games?
First two games. I mean, we're going to ask them to block for sure, but just in regards to the pass game and maybe the lack of opportunities for the tight ends, some of that's been dictated by coverage and our receiver play, and which I credit our quarterbacks for going, again, throwing it to the open guy, not forcing it to one particular position group.
Coach, did you see the Anthony Gould stuff coming in camp and how things have progressed for him, that he could have 100-plus yards?
I mean, I thought he was totally ready to play, and we have confidence in him. Did I see him going for 100 yards in the first half? That's just the way the coverage dictated and he was ready. Credit to this guy who, Tyjon has a good game the first game, gets nicked up a little bit, next man up. Everybody talks about it. Well, it truly played out with the way Gould prepared, was ready, got an opportunity, took advantage of it.
You were able to play Marco Brewer some. How did he grade out when you looked at his?
Yeah, we did want to get him in the game. He's earned that. He played solid. I thought he tried to make it physical. He does have one penalty on an outside zone play, but look, for the first time kind of getting in there and going, he played well.
And one other player, Skylar Thomas, he gets thrown in there, and it looked like he held up pretty well in the ball that was thrown at him.
He did. Skylar's been working. We're really happy with him. I mean, true freshman. He's played on special teams with great effort, and then, there's times in that game where the secondary wanted to get a little bit of a blow for a guy or two, and Skylar was ready and did solid.
Do you have a favorite Idaho memory, something that sticks out for you?
Oh, again, it was my first full-time coaching. The coaching staffs I was on made some great relationships, and there were some big-time guys that have gone on and doing great things on the coaching end. So our memories there. Robert, my oldest, was born in Moscow. So my first child there. We still travel back to the area sometimes in the summer, and we got a bunch of friends up kind of north of town. Enjoyed the breakfast club, bite to eat, great eggs Benedict. There's another club that go to on occasion there, the Corner Club. So it's a great college town.
With that, what do you see from Idaho, and what do you expect?
Yeah, I thought that, tale of 2 games, 2 different opponents for them this year. Played really well in their first one and handled that, made explosive plays, played multiple quarterbacks, flipped the script. They go to Indiana, and they had some opportunities to keep that game closer. Special teams kind of turned the tide on them. Really 3 issues on punt, a couple of them blocked, and they got another one returned for a touchdown that separated things. Big, strong quarterback. Played mostly in the second one with a big arm, can throw it. D-line's got some girth to them. This isn't, undersized group. They got a couple of guys well over 300 pounds, and inside backer tackled a lot. So they're sound. No Coach Bresky, D coordinator, very well. Coached with him at Montana for a couple of years, knows what he's doing, really good. Coach Petrino knows what he's doing on offense. So these guys will present a challenge.
Only injury from Sione didn't go this week.
Yeah, he's probably another week at least away. He kind of dealt with the same thing he dealt with it during camp on the other leg. So not season ending anyway, but doubtful for this weekend.
And Elijah was warming up before the game.
Yeah, we hope to have him play a little bit more this week. Pretty much cleared on the weekend, but hopefully, like I'm saying, play quite a bit more this Saturday.
And then one more guy, Tyjon, had that ankle injury.
We'll kind of see how he goes. He did not go yesterday, but get into the middle of the week and make a decision.
With regard to an FCS team coming in, we've seen, on the national stage, a couple of FCS teams go and beat FBS opponents, of course, one in the Pac-12 as well. What do you do to make sure that the guys don't overlook an opponent that, on paper, maybe they're expected to beat?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are aware of what college football and what can take place. We'll, again, go back to work, have our eyes on it on Tuesday. I can count on the leadership of this team, which we felt great about heading into this camp. The veterans on this team, we got great leadership, and I think those guys will have their eyes on our preparation this week. And I'm confident that we'll prepare well, and we're going to need to play well to win.